Hello, I'm Ben from the Bonehead Podcast, and welcome to the Bonehead Dungeon Bowl Championship. Dungeon Bowl takes the carnage of Blood Bowl and places it underground in a dungeon. There are wizards, there are treasure chests, there are teleporters, and there are teams. Now what we're doing in this series is we're taking all 8 colleges of magic, all 8 Dungeon Bowl teams from the Dungeon Bowl rulebook, and we're playing them off against each other in 7 knockout rounds to determine maybe not who's the best team, but definitely who is the first Bonehead Dungeon Bowl Championship champion. So this is the last of the first round. So Beast vs Metal has been played, and the winner of that game will take on Fire vs Heavens, who played last week. I'm not going to spoil these matches. Light vs Life has been played, and the winner of that match will go on to face the winner of this weekend's game between Shadow and Death, and that will determine our semi-finals. So, what we're going to do today is this is our match preview, so we're going to have a look at the rosters, the coaches, the dungeons, the wizards, and of course, the viewer championship. Okay, first up is the College of Shadow. Now this team's been put together using different teams from our previous Bonehead Championship. Now we've done that to demonstrate that you don't have to custom build a Dungeon Bowl team. You can probably put together a team that just needs a couple of proxies from the teams you've already got. So the College of Shadow, we've got 2 Skaven Blitzers, both of them have got Guard. That's kind of the only way to get good strength on the College of Shadow. It's a really light but fast roster. So 2 Guard Blitzers, 1 Skaven Thrower, because let's face it, it's probably the best thrower in the game. We've got 4 Gutter Runners. One of them has been upgraded with 2 heads. We've got 2 Witch Elves. Now the Witch Elves for this game, this series, will be represented by War Dancers from the Wild Hunters. Again, this is what we mean, we can kind of proxy these models in. Now both of these Witch Elves have been upgraded with block, so you see a War Dancer, you kind of expect block and dodge. Well, the Witch Elves here have got block and dodge, and frenzy, and jump up, but they're only movement 7. We've got 3 Goblin Linemen rounding out the team here, and 2 rerolls. So 12 players for the College of Shadow. We've got Blitzers with Guard, should be able to combo nicely with the Blodge Witch Elves, and then we've got the Thrower and 4 Gutter Runners there to be really fast scoring threats, and we've got the Goblins there to just go for that last ditch stunty 3++ dodge for the score. And the College of Shadow will be facing the College of Death. Now this is Ian Triplow's team. He put it together to play in Dorset Dungeon Bowl, and it is basically the same roster that he was planning on using for Dorset Dungeon Bowl. It is made from the MG Pix team, so all 3D printed, and it consists of 1 mummy, 2 flesh golems to be the strong contingent there. That's 1 strength 5, 2 strength 4 with stand firm. We've got 3 white blitzers. 1 of them has got dodge, and 2 of them have got frenzy. So look for frenzy to be kind of the piece of removal here, as well as the strength 4 and strength 5 pieces. 3 ghoul runners, 2 of them have got block, will be the fast element of this team. That gives us 3 whites at movement 6 edge 3+, and 3 ghouls at movement 7 edge 3+. So the College of Death gets that flexibility to be bash or dash. The team is rounded out by 2 skeleton linemen there for a total of 11 players. 2 rerolls as well, so the team has got to choose wisely when to use those rerolls. But with a strength 5, 2 strength 4s, and 5 additional block players, the College of Death is a serious contender. Okay, so on to the wizards. The first wizard we're going to look at is the College of Shadow. Now, the College of Shadow lacks strength, and it can get in a real sticky situation if there's no opportunity for the college to break through to the other side of the opponent's line. So, if you've seen our initial games, the College of Fire versus the College of Shadow straight out of the box, the College of Shadows really struggles unless you use the wizard very wisely. So the College of Shadow wizard can be used at the start of your turn as the College of Shadow. Pick a player on your team without the ball and then teleport them up to 5 squares away. So you can just take one of your players and bamf them to the other side of your opponent's line. Now this can be absolutely massive. This can mean you can just ignore an army of ogres or dwarves or whatever's blocking that corridor, and then it's going to combo really nicely if, for example, you've got high speed, great agility pieces, for example, witch elves or gutter runners, and then maybe if you had a really good thrower on your team, like a Skaven thrower, what you can do is get the ball to the thrower, bamf one of your scoring threats the other side of the line, and then it's just a cheeky 2+, maybe a 3+ pass with a pass reroll and a 2+ catch for that touchdown. So the College of Shadows wizard can be absolutely huge to reposition one piece to go for the kill. Really important wizard. And the College of Death's wizard is not rubbish either. Okay, so the College of Death at the start of your turn as the College of Death person. So both of these wizards are activating on your turn as the caster. Pick a player, any player on your team. Well, that's not fair. Pick a player, any player on your opponent's team that is in base contact with one of your players. At the beginning of your turn, you pick an opponent's player that is in base contact, that is being marked by one of yours, and then you just straight up make a roll for injury. No armor, none of that. Maybe the spell won't work, none of that. Maybe you won't break their armor, none of that. This goes straight to injury. So if the College of Shadows player in this game leaves the ball carrier in base contact for some reason with one of the College of Death players, bam, that's going to be stun, that's going to be KO, that's going to be casualty immediately off there. It is the touch of death, and it is infinitely play aroundable. But one slight move and you leave a key player in base contact with any of the players on the death team, bam, straight to injury. And it's time to talk coaches. So we've got Skaven, so it's going to be me, and we've got the College of Death team built by Trips, so that's going to be Trips. So Ian Triple Power Triple O will be joining us. He is going to run his death team that he built just for Dorset Dungeon Bowl, although Ian was the odd man out, so stepped out and helped TO and didn't get a chance to run it. He's going to get his chance this weekend, and I will be running a mix mash of Bonehead Championship teams. We've got goblins from the Black Mountain Buccaneers, we've got a couple of wood elves masquerading as witch elves from the Wild Hunters, and we've got the majority of the Neverbay Nightmares team. So it is a mix mash of team here for me, and a very well put together undead team for Trips. So if we talk about the matchup really quickly, the College of Death can be really fast. They've got a ton of block, they've got some good strength, they've got some great resilience, and the College of Shadow has got an unnecessary amount of speed. So this, I think, is going to come down to, can Ian murder enough of the College of Shadow players to win that game of attrition in the dungeon? And if the Shadow team does not get a quick win, they're going to lose. They do not have the staying power. So it's all going to be kind of down to the initial defense. Can Trips build a castle that we can't break through from the College of Shadow? And can the College of Shadow bust through really quickly to avoid being just made dead by the death team? Now, before we move on, I think it's important we have a quick look at this map. So this is going to be the last time we use this map until we return to it for the final. So we've got College of Shadow, we've got College of Death. And like I said, we're going to look to see the College of Death set up a really solid defense. Now, because of that Shadow Mage, they're going to have to kind of do a layered defense, which could really help the College of Shadow here. On the other side, there's really no time pressure at all for the College of Death here. They want to start with a solid bit of defense and then just keep bringing in reserves. Basically, any one of their players versus any one of the College of Shadow players is going to have an advantage. And if they can bring about the Wights with Frenzy, or the Mummy, or the Flesh Golem there to just start pounding away, then the College of Shadow team could find itself kind of fading away. So it's going to be down to me, as the College of Shadow player, to get through here, to find the ball really quickly, and get through the undead team really quickly. This is just going to be a game of Shadow trying to escape death and trying to break away for the win. It's a really good matchup. It's a really interesting one. Shadow is light, really fragile. Death is really resilient and really strong, but doesn't lack for speed. This is another classic matchup. Okay, so the last thing to do is check in with our viewer championship. So last round, everybody who commented got a point because I made a horrific editing error on the first game. Now we're back to playing the game. So what we want you to do is pick a winner. Will Shadow or Death win this weekend? So put in the comments which team you think is going to win, and if you get the team right, you'll win a point. Now there are some coaches sitting at 3 points at the moment, so we're starting to get a bit of a leaderboard, and as we go into the semi-final, we'll start picking out those players who are in the top spots. Now when it gets to the end of the season, those players who got in the top 20 or so will win some Bonehead Championship loot. But what we should do is point out the timings here, because the game will go out to the Patreons on Saturday morning around about 10 AM. The game will go live with everybody else at 10 AM on Sunday morning, so we want your guesses in by 9 AM Saturday morning UK time, and the reason for that is because we don't want any more guesses coming in after the Patreon's gone out, because then you'll end up with a situation like the first round, but we don't talk about that. Quick one to check in was the round 3 predictions. We had 44% chose fire and 56% chose heavens. Now I'm not going to spoil that game, but that is what the guesses were. So interesting one there. Right, I think that wraps up everything for this round. So get your guesses in. The entire leaderboard, we'll do a Star Wars scroll at the end of the video. This is it. This is the last game of the regular season, the first knockout round. Then we're going to find out who our semi-finalists are, and we're going to be playing on a different dungeon map for the next 2 games, and then return to a very beautiful version of the round 1 map in the very final game. So I'm pretty excited. I'm having a ton of fun playing Dungeon Bowl. Let us know what you think the outcome will be between me running Shadow and Ian Triplo running Death. But for now, I'm going to disappear. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content. We get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead Podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.